everybody. I'm going to go ahead and get started. Our first time back in person. We're doing a hybrid version, and hopefully we can get a lot of participation one way and the other, right? All right. So what I want to do is start with our meeting minutes are posted on the rolandopark.org website. If you want to go check them out. We're going to start with dues and membership. Cheryl?
Okay, we are at 78 members so far for the year, $1,034 in dues, $845.93 in donations for a total of $1,879.93. That's a total of 64 renewals and 14 new members.
Great, thank you. Anybody have any questions on dues and membership? Oh, all right. All right, so we'll move on to our community update plan.
Okay, now I hope I do this right. Oops, and I will in just a minute. Okay. So I'm going to start off with an announcement or some information from Michelle about that coming up at Rolando Park Elementary.
Hi everybody, it's Michelle from PTA. We have an event coming up on October 21st here at the school in the back parking lot. We're going to do a trunk or treat in the back parking lot, which is great. We would love volunteers. So if you guys want to come and decorate your trunk and hand out candy, we would love that. We also have a great candy monster. There's a picture of him there in the front office here at the school. Happy to take any sort of treat donations, whether that's little toys for the kids or candy. We'll use all of that so the people who decorate their trunks don't have to also provide all their own candy. And then we'll also need volunteers at the event. We have several booths and some other like fun things that aren't trunks that we'll need some help for. So if you guys want to help out, we would love your help. Just let us know by 10:14 so we can make sure we have enough staffing for everything. And I have my email down there. We'll post it.
Yeah, and could you drop that in the chat tonight, maybe?
Yeah, I can definitely drop it in the chat.
Great. Okay.
All right, let us know if you can't hear us.
Yes, raise your hand. Okay. I just want to remind everyone that Thursday, October 27th, we are having a cleanup at Xena Canyon. This one's being run by I Love It Clean San Diego. It's their Sunset Sweet Canyon cleanups. It's from 3 to 5. I will drop this link in the chat. It's also on our website, and I'll have it up on Facebook and drop it into Nextdoor this week. We'll be there. We'll have water and snacky kind of stuff. They will be there for about 2 hours. So hopefully this will be the third cleanup that I Love It Clean San Diego has done in Xena Canyon this year, plus one that the school district did a few weeks ago. So, and we did settle on a date for our University Avenue cleanup. It'll be Saturday, December 3rd, 8 to 10. We're gonna meet up at the Party House. We'll have some of our usual stuff to give you a sugar high so that you can get out there and clean very fast. If you bring your own gloves and if you have pickers, weed eaters, brooms, dustpans, I'll supply the bags and we'll be loading everything in my truck. So depending on how much stuff we pick up, I'll either take it home to dispose of or I'll make a run to Echo with it. We are talking to Rolando about doing it, and I'm going to check with Jennifer from Redwood Village and see if the Redwood Village Community Council would like to work on this project with us as well. I think the last quick announcement I want to make is that next month is election month. Sonia and I have decided to run for another term unless someone steps in. And Michelle is running for a second term as vice president. Thank you so much.
Got it.
Unfortunately, and I'm sad, but Judy Fleischman is stepping down at the end of this year as member at large. So we will not have any member at large positions at the beginning of the year. So if anyone would like to volunteer, you can run a project, anything that benefits Rolando Park, special interest. Maybe you want to do a beautification project. Judy always secured grants for us from the Walmart Foundation. We might want someone, whatever you're interested in, shoot us an email and contact us at rolandopark.org. Just let us know, and let's have a conversation before November, our next meeting in November. Okay.
And also, you know, it doesn't really take a significant amount of your time at all.
No.
The time is kind of set for when you're available to participate in any activities or volunteer to take an activity on. So, I mean, don't worry about it taking up a whole lot of your time. Here and there, plus meetings, and that's pretty much it, right?
Really, and you can also share the position. Sonia and I have been sharing the position since we started, pretty much. You share one vote on board voting, but it works out for us because it's less of a time commitment for the two of us, and yet we're still doing something for the community council.
Right?
I did want to just close out one last statement because I brought this up last month. Two people did contact me about the soccer team using both fields. Those reports and pictures went to the area manager. He sent the soccer league managers a final, this is your last chance or you're losing your permit for abusing the privilege at Rolando Park. So if you continue to see them, please, if they're on both fields, that's wrong. They're only supposed to be on one field. So if you see them there, take a picture, shoot it to contact us or contact me, and we'll make sure it gets reported, okay? Thank you. That's all I have.
All right. Any questions on any of those communications?
Oh, did I go too fast? I'm in speaker mode, I think.
All right. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna do our public comments on non-agenda items. And we ask that you keep it to 3 minutes. Do we have anyone who has any public comments?
Yes. There's a hand raised in the air.
All right.
I'm gonna talk about Measure B on the ballot that's coming up. This is the trash collection problem. This problem, the city is saying it's an inequality problem. That inequality problem was produced by the city politician years ago when our city constitution, which they call what do they call it? Anyway, they call it different name. But anyway, all the trash collection was no extra charge. It was paid for by our property taxes, everybody. And then because the politicians of our city wanted more money out of us, they found a loophole in this in order so that way they could charge the apartments and the condominiums. Now, what they're doing, like most politicians do, they're pitting citizen against citizen. They're pitting the homeowners or the people who live in houses against the apartment people and the condo people who are paying extra for trash. And people who live in houses are paying free trash through their taxes now. And they want us to pay, basically double pay. They want us to pay our taxes still, but they want to charge us for picking up trash. And I don't think that's right. And again, this is a very sneaky and devious way of politicians, even though they're supposed to be our representatives and they think they are public servants, they're really acting like the public is their servants in this matter, and probably a lot of other matters too. But anyway, I like to let everybody know, please vote no on Measure B because it's not fair what they're doing. And again, and this time with inflation going up and increased costs everywhere, they want to still increase our costs. They still don't have enough money. They still want more and more money out of us. They got to learn they have to have so much, and that's it, to deal with what they have. And don't go around. In fact, even the measure, if you read the measure, it says in the middle that they're going to charge for it, but then later on they say blah, 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 with no extra charge. And they throw that in, I think, to fool us to thinking the whole thing is no extra charge. But it's not. It's the other additives that they want to do to it. So they do want to charge trash. In other words, they want to change our city constitution in order to charge us. They can't find any other way to get money unless we vote ourselves out. And that's stupid. Thank you.
Thanks, Stephen.
All right. I see Jennifer has her hand up. Go ahead,
Thank
Jennifer.
you. Hi, thank you. Just a quick announcement that next Monday at 7 o'clock, Redwood Village will have its community meeting, where I will be proposing that we join and merge with Rolando Park so that we aren't duplicating the efforts for our government reps, such as Officer Hoskins and the other reps that we share as we move into District 9.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Anyone else? Right, so it looks like we're done with our public comments, so we're gonna move on to our community reports. Okay, and we're gonna start off with Officer or Sergeant or Major Terry Hoskins.
I'm not a sergeant, as far as PD wise goes, but I'm on my personal computer because they don't really give us computers to do it properly. Our desktops don't have Zoom. Well, they got Zoom capabilities, but there's no camera and I can't hear what people say. So this is my own personal one. So it says Sergeant Major because that's what I retired in the military as. So a couple of things. I wrote down the dates for the Xena Canyon cleanup and in the university cleanup. If you could just, Lynn, if you could just make sure I get that on an email somewhere so I won't forget it. Hopefully I won't forget it. And then I just want to do a quick shout out to Jennifer. I know this is Rolando Park and not Redwood Village, but I do appreciate the fact that what they tried to accomplish. And after not having an organization for so long, it's just so difficult, as you ladies and gentlemen know, to get one going, much less maintain one. So kudos for them at least putting in the effort and then at least still trying to get involved with you guys and dovetail on stuff that you guys do and information that you receive. So a couple of things. I went back for crime stats for the previous 30 days. I didn't send out the diagram to you, to Lynn, you or Sonia, and I apologize about that today. But if anyone has any questions pertaining to something that they think they've read on Nextdoor, feel free to reach out to me directly. I can show you the diagram, but it's going to look so silly on what I show you right now. You won't necessarily be able to see it, but I will anyways. I'll try. I don't know if
Pull it
that's.
back a little bit, Terry, pull it back towards you. It's clear for a second, but maybe that's what it is. Yeah, we can't see it. It's all
Okay. Yeah, I apologize. And I should at least attempted to load it on my own computer. So I apologize. One of the things that's happening at the moment is concerning a lot of people off of Bing Street. And they've been having some car prowls, or think there's some people that are actually casing the areas. So I just encourage everyone to continue to call. If you have vehicles that you think are casing the area, or if you have individuals that you think are casing the area, obviously don't put yourself in harm's way, but you can take photos of anyone out in public. It's not illegal to do so. Just, if you want to do it so no one can see you, it may prevent some type of confrontation. But please encourage people to report crime. If you report it only on Nextdoor, it does no good for us. We cannot do anything with it. And then last but not least, you had 17 arrests in your community last month. And there was one ticket written off of Rolando Boulevard and University. We had a coffee with the cop at the Dog Society last week. It was kind of a short, as far as planning goes. We really didn't have a whole lot of time to plan it or to disseminate the information out. They've been having problems with Jalars next door, having some potential prostitution and drug activities in the parking lot, and it kind of spills over. So I've been trying to put more of an emphasis on being there more. So I go there every day for the past probably 3 weeks now, and I think it's beginning to work. And we had our Coffee with the Cop there, and I thought it was just another way to put, one, promote the business, but two, to just make a showing. So I think that's working. And then there's always been an issue with the plaza there between Rolando and Aragon. I finally convinced them to start locking the gates again behind the strip mall. I'm hoping that continues. If someone can let me know if it doesn't. But at the moment, it seems like it is in the after or evening time. And I think that's prevented a lot of nefarious activities from happening there, but that doesn't mean it doesn't spill out and go elsewhere. So
Where's that gate? Where's that?
it's the two gates behind the main strip mall between,
On the plaza.
Okay,
yeah,
and where the small check place is, near
Yeah.
the small check place?
yeah, we're actually behind the AutoZone
Okay,
on that edge of the building to where the dialysis location used to be on the other, on the
Okay.
east end. And then just continue to, keep us in the loop as much as you can about whatever concerns quality of life issues you have. And I'll be open for questions from everyone except from Lynn. I will not answer any question from Lynn.
It's
So,
like,
good timing, Lynn.
I have a quick question. On Saturday night, there was a police chase on Aragon Avenue on the 3900 block.
okay.
Somebody on foot. The police did stop her and arrested him, but I didn't see it on crime mapping. I just wondered if you knew any details about it.
On what was the block on Aragon?
On 3900 block of Aragon, Saturday. It's evening, that's 7 o'clock, I think.
Okay, let's see real quick. They did show an arrest for a failure to yield, but it didn't go into any more than that. So it may have just been a continuation from a traffic stop or something that,
No, it was more than that. It was more than that.
was it? Okay. How many, well, for failure to yield, it's going to get several
I think it was-
officers are going to be in
it was
pursuit.
It was people pacing the block, I think, but earlier in the day, a lady came by, asking to do some yard work. I said, yeah, okay, go ahead. But she had to go, I had to go to Spring Valley for a little while. And then when she came back, she started weed eating on my front yard. And this one gentleman was starting to help her. And then all of a sudden, we had that altercation down the street and they left. They never, so she did only a little bit of work and never got any money and they never came back or nothing. So those two had to be correlated somehow. I'm thinking they're casing the block for things, I think.
Okay.
Okay.
So pretty much we don't know.
Yeah.
And
Well,
She was starting to work and then all of a sudden, when that happened, she's gone. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Terry, I sent this
Yes.
information on to Detective Pratt. Besides the incidents on Bing a couple of weeks ago, my neighbor at the corner of Celia Vista and Aragon had her car broken into, and someone on Casita, just the next block down on the other side of Celia Vista, had her car broken into the same night. Same MO, they broke out a rear window to get in. They both cases, they said they didn't understand their car was locked, but they got in and they didn't take anything out of either car. They think they just they were trying to steal the car, maybe hot wired or something, but so that happened. And I saw that on Nextdoor and asked them both to file a report, and I sent that on to Detective Pratt.
What was the address for those two?
I'll have to send it to you. The woman on Casita didn't give her address. It's in the 4000 block.
Okay,
And the
and
other one is right on the corner of Celia Vista and Aragon. And I'll send you the address for that one. Yeah, because I think she said that she did file a police report, but it seemed to match what happened on Bing's, so.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have, there's a couple of incidences off of Aragon, but I'm not quite sure what block number that would be. So,
I'll send it, I'll email it to you in the morning.
okay, that's fine. I'll get back with you guys.
Thanks. So anyone else have any questions for Officer Hoskin?
Well, there's been a lot of speeding along Alta and they're going through the stop sign. And today around 1:30, there was a white car that ran over 2 stop signs. It almost hit a car, but actually it did hit a car on Marlow, Loma Alta, between Loma Alta and Aragon. And it's a black car that got hit and the whole side mirror got knocked over. It's like there's still debris on the street. And I picked out the mirror from the car that hit the black car, this white car. And I was picking up cigarette butts when this happened. And there was Bonnie was in the corner with her son. And there was a lady walking with her grandchild. They saw the whole incident. And she lives in the corner of Aragon and Hoffman to Aragon and Hoffman going up. There's a greenhouse there right in the corner. So anyhow, I have the people mirror from the white car that hit the black car. They was a hit and run.
Like a.
Oh, yeah, there.
License plate.
I just got on my Ring camera, I got the description of the car. Now I couldn't get it.
Right, the angle, you know.
The angle is 5 angle. But it was going very fast, and actually you could see it's speeding and there's 2 cars that honk their horn. At the stop sign, because he didn't stop and turn from Marlow into Loma Alta. But he was speeding all the way from Aragon, coming from Wait. From that
So then how
direction.
did the owner of the car that was hit, have you been in contact with them?
With the lady that saw the whole incident, because I hear that they hit, his alarm on the block car went off when it got hit. I saw the car in front of me going fast, because I'm on Loma Alta,
Right.
like one house next to JR's house, he's in the corner on the second house.
Okay,
So I said, well, I looked on my Ring camera and I see the car,
right.
the white car, and I see the 2 cars that were going north, and he was going south Loma Alta.
Okay.
So they were going into Marlow. The 2 other cars, they had to stop,
Okay.
and he had to stop first, but he didn't, he just kept going hitting.
Okay. So what about the owner of the car who's?
The lady that saw the whole incident left a phone number with Bonnie and everything,
So
and
hopefully
they
they-
left from there, yeah.
Do we know if they did a police report for the hit and run or not?
The lady said they called the police, but then she couldn't wait for them, so she left all the information and her phone number to Bonnie.
Okay, I'll check on that one and
Yeah,
see what,
Yeah, they almost run me over every single day. I
is
can't.
it have you seen that car in the area before? Do you know where it would come from?
No, it's the white car, but I, like I said, I see it on my Ring, and it's very distinctive ring. Like.
Okay,
You can see.
Okay.
oh,
Maybe your neighbor has all these.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if, is that my connection bad? Or did everyone else hear that ghost?
Yeah.
Sound like it's wrong.
All right, do we have anything else for Officer Hoskins? All right, so then, oh, I hear something. Did I hear
Yes.
Yes.
Hi,
Okay.
this is Debbie. I just have a quick question, please, for Officer Hoskins.
Hi, Debbie.
Hi. It seems like every weekend for quite a while, and even spilling into the week now, my house sits up above Aragon where it goes down to University. And it seems like that stoplight there is pretty much being used as the start for drag racing there at that intersection. It's really, really bad some nights. You just hear it screeching, just hear them rev up and they just take off. And I really worry about someone getting seriously hurt there. So I just wondered if anyone in the city is aware of that. If you could please maybe make someone aware of that and see if there's anything, they can do, monitor that area or something, because it's been going on for quite a while. And I
And
think we're just really
what is the
lucky so
traffic
far
light
that
you're
nothing's
talking about?
happened.
I'm sorry, Debbie, what is the traffic light you're referring to?
Aragon and University,
Okay,
there at the plaza and the Croc Center.
got it. Okay. We do-
Unfortunately, that's everywhere.
Which way do they go?
I'm up on College and near College Grove. And they go from there all the way down, unfortunately,
Yes,
flying down the hill.
Debbie,
Yeah.
Debbie, we
Yes.
do, there is a task force that was assigned to a couple of the traffic individuals, traffic cops, not individuals, but traffic cops to
Okay.
help to work on that. And also the people that are doing the donut rings.
Yes.
And so I'll just send that information to them, and that they're
Okay.
collecting all that data. And I'm not quite sure how I know they're getting funding to do certain task force, but I'm not sure how they decide where to set, where to hit or anything like that. But I'll give them that information. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yes, I realize it's everywhere and I realize it's really difficult to monitor and so forth, but I just wanted to make someone aware of it. So thank you.
Yeah, no, and we always encourage if you could get a plate number, because I think they've confiscated, the city has confiscated PD, the city, whatever you want to call it, confiscated something like 20 some vehicles where they caught people doing those donut things, and have another terminology for them, but and they're not going to give them back. So it's one of the things that they do besides criminal, charging them with criminal violations, that they just confiscate their vehicle, and the judges will not give them back. So so if you can get a plate number or even just a make of a car, sometimes that can really help. So again, thank you for bringing that to our attention.
Thanks. All right, well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Officer Hoskins. All right.
And then you're just gonna, yeah, I guess a quick shout out to my favorite associations. I have many favorite associations, and Rolando Park is definitely one of mine. So is Redwood Village, Jennifer. So I'm just saying, I just but kudos to what Lynn and the staff that you guys do, Sonia, is just amazing. So I just appreciate all your hard work, and it's a thankless job, and you two make it look so effortlessly. So kudos to you for that. Thank you.
All right, so I see Anna Laura, I believe,
Yes.
up there. So Anna Laura Martinez.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Ana Laura. I use she, they pronouns, and I'm from the office of Chair Fletcher. I'm sorry, I'm on Zoom while I'm on my computer. I was having difficulty logging in through my computer, so I hope you all can hear and see me clearly. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, officer. I just have a few updates and make space for any questions that you all may have, so I'll make this quick. On October 3rd, the county and city of San Diego held a joint summit on the topic of affordable housing. This event was spearheaded by Chair Fletcher and Council President Hilo Rivera. Together, the two government bodies passed a resolution and declared their intention to build 10,000 units of affordable housing by 2030 and streamline permitting to accelerate housing production. The other announcement I have is that County Board of Supervisors voted unanimously at the last board meeting to establish a rental subsidy pilot program for seniors who are at risk of becoming homeless. This pilot program will provide a monthly subsidy of $500 paid directly to the landlord of a low-income senior San Diegan. Each subsidy will be paid for up to 18 months. To qualify, an applicant must be at least 55 years old and the head of household, and their income may not exceed 50% of the area median income. County is expecting the applications to open in beginning of next year, and subsidies will be paid starting in March of 2023. In terms of other board policies, at the September 27th board meeting, the board passed 2 of Chair Fletcher's policies that will improve opportunities for veterans to reintegrate into civilian life. The first is to increase veterans in the county workforce, having the county re-examine its workplace policies and find ways to increase veteran recruitment and retention to double the number of veterans working at the county by 2030. The other one is seeing how the county can provide services to veterans and create a new service center in East County. And then I'm forgetting, I know I've had conversations with Lynn about the grants, but if Rolando Park is a nonprofit, you all qualify for our county grants. We have 2 county grants available, the Neighborhood Reinvestment Program and the Community Enhancement Program. So this is open to any nonprofit or any organization fiscally sponsored by nonprofit. And this is like kind of like a first come, first serve. The fiscal year started in July. So if you all qualify or anyone you know that qualifies, I can put you in contact with our grants lead just to kind of go through the process. And then the last announcement I have is the County Health and Human Service Agency is asking San Diegans to do their part in preventing illnesses this winter and schedule their COVID and flu vaccines as soon as possible. The new updated booster is available at all county facilities, as is the flu shot. And if there's any questions, please let me know. Again, thank you so much for letting me join. And I'm going to pass it back to you all. Thank you.
All right, any questions for Anna?
Anna, I have a quick question for you. What the difference is between the Neighborhood Reinvestment Program and the Community Enhancement Program? We are a nonprofit, and we're looking at the Neighborhood Reinvestment Program for a monument sign for the community and to clean up the Pop Out Park.
Yeah, so the difference, thank you so much for that question. The NRP usually is to fund for one-time community, social, environmental, educational, cultural needs. So that monument fits right into that. The CE is more towards like if you have an organization and you want to pay like someone on staff. So the NRP is right down the alley when it comes to the monument as well.
Okay. Thank you very much.
And then, Lynn, do you need me to get you in contact with our grants lead?
Yes, please.
Okay, perfect. I'll do that using the Rolando email, if that's okay with you.
Yes, please. That would be perfect. Thank
Perfect.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, any other questions for Anna? Well, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, did I see Jennifer has a hand up?
Oh, I think it was just a clap.
Oh, was that a clap? Okay.
Thank you, Ana Laura. Just a clap.
There we go. All right. Well, thank you. Okay, so I think that's all of our community representatives for today. Okay, so I see our speaker is here today, or here now, April Mahoney. And it will be on the Streamview Drive traffic roundabouts. Okay. And I like your caricature. I like that caricature. That's so cute.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your attention. This is a pressing issue. This is important. I'm not going to recap all of the details, but I will put in the chat a link to the media coverage that has covered this catastrophic failure of a traffic roundabout. At the corner of Gale and Streamview is where I have resided for 30 years. $3.5 million was invested to slow down the traffic as well as beautify our street. Streamview has been known as the ugliest street in one of the ugliest streets in San Diego for the past 40 years. What we got was not a sexy street, but was an abortion. They injected something into our community without care, without thought, ripped it out. It's causing mayhem. Within the last 18 to 20 months, we have had 8 major collisions, causing cars to go over the median and projectile into our homes. I'm going to repeat that. Projectile into our homes. I will provide the link. You'll be able to see it. Our neighbors are devastated. Their property insurance has went up. The cars have been totaled. It's just catastrophic. Okay, so now to bring you up to speed, the city has come out. I give them kudos for that. They have repainted some of the white striping. They have put more confusing signs. I mean, because you're trying to read the narrative instead of get through the intersection.
Right.
Okay. So, you've got a yield sign going right into a handicap crosswalk. Really?
Right.
Okay. I am really encouraging and encouraged that there's going to be something done. The councilwoman, I've met with her, I've met with representatives from the mayor's office, and they have promised me and assured me that something was going to be done. The city planner has come out, the engineers have come out. There's only 4 inches from the asphalt to the roundabout. There has been I repeat, no beautification whatsoever. It is actually, we've been overlooked and underserved. When you go to Allied Gardens, when you go to Mead, there is some sort of rock foundation, there's some sort of monument sign, there's some sort of succulents. We got $3.5 million worth of stamped concrete to bring it forward. So now I get a email from Mr. Griffith, or is Matthew Griffith, that works for the city, a few minutes before this meeting. And it was pretty disheartening what I got. I was encouraged up to this point because we were led to believe that the funding for phase 2 had been secured. However, it has not. They were waiting for a grant, which in a way I'm glad that they did not get the money to install another flawed design when you have not corrected the first design. Now that it is going to be separated, District 9 is going to be Redwood Village. I really need you to be aware of this situation. I need you to be in support of this situation because this is life or death. A cat only has 9 lives. We have experienced 8 major catastrophes. And I'm not over exaggerating this. The other thing that he said was that again, that they're going to do this. But what we need to also be aware of is not only the fact of who we are going to be electing as our council people, but who they have in their cabinet. And who are these people that are going to be on the ground floor working with us to get these things done. We can't put all the pressure on the council person. They're the figurehead. We need to work with the people that report to them and report back on our behalf. From the onset, I had gotten the impression, like I said, that phase 2 was going to be was already funded. It wasn't. So now here we go. We're now moving the goalpost. He indicated in his email to me, let me pull it up, that there is now no designated time. I was promised that this was a priority. I know that we're not the only ones, but again, we're not asking for a signal light. We're not asking for a stop sign. We are asking for our lives to be saved here. When you see the video, you're going to be overwhelmed. I also got the support from the Eastern Area, I always get it all confused, but it's the Eastern Area Planning Committee. They are writing a letter of support on behalf of our concerns, and that should be going out in the next day or two to the mayor's office as well as to the councilwoman. Let me go back really quickly and just find Mr. Griffith's email to me, where he said that there's no designate, what did he say? We are still working to identify funding. So now it's back to we're looking for money. What we want is a low-cost fix. We want some cosmetic deterrents. Big, beautiful rocks, trees. Me and Jennifer have talked to them about that. That's not a whole lot of money. It's not rocket science. All of the other landscaping and the raising of the cement, I know that's going to take time. But right now, we need a quick fix. And that's something that's very doable. It says that they want to reapply for the grant. Well, how long is that going to take? Or other grants that present themselves. No specific timeline or date can be shared. This is still a very fluid item. Let's hope that that fluid is not our blood. I am not satisfied. I'm pacified. I will not take my finger off the pulse of this. This is a concern to all of us because Streamview is going to have 4 or 5 more installations. I appreciate the additional police presence that has come up and down the street, but again, that's hit and miss. It's not consistent. We know that everyone is taxed thin, and I'm really hoping that the people on Streamview are respectful too, because a lot of this is our neighbors. Believe and trust. The dumping and the speeding, this isn't just random people coming through our neighborhoods. We need to pay attention to our own concerns and be involved in that. So again, I'm very, very passionate about it because I can't sleep at night. These accidents have occurred right in front of my home. I've lived here for 30 years. I love my community and I love my, I want to work diligently in conjunction with the city. But as I said, I'm watching football right now and I'm not seeing them move the goalpost. Okay. So I'm looking to score here. And again, I'm not going to be quiet. If the media comes to me again, I will report everything that they're doing positive. Absolutely. However, if there is something in contrast to what I've been told, we have to look at that. Any questions?
How can we support you, Ava?
That's gonna be my question.
How can our community support you?
Your community can support me in number one by, again, keeping this at the forefront of your visibility as the Redwood Village is now going to be going into District 9. I'm looking for the council person for District 9 to also lend some of their funds to support the people of Redwood Village that is now going to be their constituents. I want this to also, again, to raise visibility to see how we can get a solution. A low-cost solution right now. We can wait for long-term, but again, if we have some cosmetic fixes, some deterrent, that is going to speak volumes. People will slow down if they see a bunch of bricks. The bus goes over the roundabout. I just came from Europe. And I tell you, the roundabouts there are amazing. However, they are not in residential communities. And they just plop these things in here. No public service announcements, no education on how to use a bike lane, no education on how to use a traffic roundabout in a residential community. They have a responsibility to educate people on how to use these things if they're going to put them in all of our communities. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, they don't want to talk to us. They just do what they want. I mean,
well, no, you know what? I'm a positive person. They will do it. If you put it in their face and you put enough pressure on them, they will get it done, or they just won't hold that position in that office. We have options and choices. I'm not one of those people and I don't want to fight with them. I want to come in love. I want to come in peace. I want to come with respect. I want people to see how things can be done in a harmonious way. But believe and trust. I am not going to be quiet about this, and I will be out on Streamview with a bullhorn. Okay? I want to get this done, and I am not going to be overlooked and underserved. No, sir. No, ma'am.
Future projects should be roundabouts because there's other ways of traffic calming thing to do, and roundabouts, like you're saying, in the residential area is not working, and you know that. So on future projects, roundabouts should be out of the question.
Yes and no.
Respectfully disagree with that. So some should not represent all. I think this is a democracy, and I think Ms. Mahoney, you would agree that having roundabouts actually has improved the flow of traffic.
Absolutely not. Not on this street. Now, in other situations, it may, but not here where I live, an cars have come into our homes. Could you imagine sitting here 4 o'clock in the afternoon, getting ready to go to the reggae festival, and you see a car that comes in, tears up your neighbor's yard, catapults into the air, splits the car in half, comes back out, the person ejects out the window, runs down the street, and the woman is devastated. She's sitting there in her house. Don't tell me that the roundabout works. Not this one.
The roundabout works. This one, I'm agreeing with you. This one, this particular design is not perfectly done. As you said, I think a middle deterrent that's actually stopping cars would work, but the design of going around instead of crossing each other absolutely totally works. It's safer for everybody that crosses that roundabout. That the education, it's in your license. You've actually learned to drive a car. You should know how to do that. And most neighborhoods know how to do it.
No. Let me share something with you. If you come from Europe, and this is a multicultural street. I love my street. It's so diverse. There's a different learning. And when is the last time you went to the DMV and opened up the book and asked about a roundabout in an urban community in San Diego, California? Never. When is the last time you went to the DMV and even had to get your license renewed? I'll wait. Exactly. This is what I'm saying. So there's an assumption there that people know. They don't know. You put public service announcements to stop marijuana. You put public service announcements for clean water in the water district. You put public service announcements for other things. What is a PSA? They have Facebook. They have. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I was going to say I think we talked about this before, but imagine the police pursuit that actually ended up in that car crash that you were describing with a stop sign. It could have killed somebody that was actually in their own right crossing the stop sign.
I understand what you're saying, but don't you think that it was more dangerous when you're projectiling into the home? If it's in and it was a low speed chase. There was no sirens or anything like that. So I'm sitting here in my window watching this, and that wasn't the first one. And it has to be done by.
And I am from Europe, and so the design of those in Europe, or they will stop you. You won't go through the roundabout at any speed. If you go across them, they will stop you. As you said, I agree. We need to put some rocks or something that's big.
We need to do something. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I understand what you're saying.
But we need to continue on Streamview with roundabouts. These stop signs are absolutely ridiculous, and they will create massive crashes at some point because people don't respect them whatsoever. So you need something physical.
The bus does not respect. I did a video.
It's for them. So that little lip is actually for them to go over.
Okay.
You have to understand the design. It's for them to go over because they don't have the turning radius of a little Ford Fiesta.
But if you come and look at it, they gave us like 10 feet of cement for what? If they reduce
that's wrong, right?
Exactly.
That's wrong.
That's wrong. And so somebody is sitting on their keister, looking at a schematic instead of actually coming out, doing an assessment, walking down the street, feeling the texture, talking to the people before you actually put they don't do that. They just, it's $1,300 to replace the signs out here. They just replaced 28 signs.
That was useless. I mean, let's be honest.
So again, like I said, it's a lot of work, but my neighbors have come up with designs. We've come up with policies. We're working very diligently with the city. We are encouraged. Like I said, I'm encouraged. I'm not going to be discouraged because there is going to be a change. It's going to take time. But again, there's 56 sexy streets that they're working on. You can't take a little bit of here. They always rob Peter to pay Paul. You can't take a little bit from here, a little bit there to do what needs to be done to save lives.
I totally agree. I mean, and if you look, I don't remember if you were with us the last meeting. I mentioned this, but if you go down Coronado, they have some of the most beautiful roundabouts that you can dream, but you can't go across it. Try it. You can't go across it, right? And that's because of what you think? Because they have more money, right? And they have more clout.
No. It's not about more money. It's about more influence and inequity.
Influence.
Okay, it's
Yep.
about influence, and it's about it's the same pot of money, but it's
But I
how it's
guarantee
allocated, and
so
it's how we stand up for the money that's being spent.
I agree. And I guarantee you, if you did the exact same roundabout in front of your house, and I live in the neighborhood, I go across this thing every day, it would probably solve 90% of the issues. You just need a high wall with beautiful plants on it. And
Beautiful plants. Why not? Since it was already the ugliest street in San Diego. Why not make it Streamview Boulevard? Why not make it a show place? When you come down, welcome people to our neighborhood. It's nice, it's clean. Sure, we've got the apartments. And that bothers me too, because now there's an inequity. They don't talk to the people in the apartments. They forget they're taxpayers, they're voters. I went down there, I walked door to door and talk to them about this. They have to walk almost a quarter of a mile to get to their home because parking has been taken away. Does that make sense for a big slab of cement? We don't have a large influx of people going down that way. I don't know what that's all about. I believe that, the water district and utilities, they made all the money digging all these trenches and all of this mayhem. For what? I would have rather Streamview be like it was. Honest to God. I go up, yeah, there's some speeding. You can get a ticket, but cars are not projectiling into other people's homes. So I'm not going to take any more of your time, but what I do ask is please, please keep this at the forefront of your mind. Keep the pressure on your council person, my council person, to at least work with us to get the cosmetic fix, because I was told that that is not even on the agenda, and that was promised to me. That is not even on the agenda. So what are they looking at? More schematics? That's what I want to know. And I do not want them to install anything, not phase 2, until we actually see the blueprints beforehand. Because dear sweet Marty Emerald and Anna, I don't even remember her name, but she was part of Redwood Village. They gave the go ahead to get this done, and they weren't even our representatives for Oak Park. It's documented. That's not going to happen again. It can't. Who can make decisions for somebody that doesn't even live there, that's not even in the district? So please help me be vigilant, because now Redwood Village will be a part of District 9. Oak Park will still be a part of District 4. And again, the struggle is real because Streamview lives matter.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jerry had a question.
Yes.
Um,
Hi, Jerry.
April, this is Jerry Flavin. We've communicated via Nextdoor. You are extremely well spoken, and I really appreciate you, coming to talk to us. So, I think if there are, regardless of what our opinions are on roundabouts, I've seen some beautiful ones in North Park that are similar to what you've described, with large rocks and cactus, which makes it really obvious it's a roundabout. But you're going to have to let us know specifically what we can do. If you need a letter from Rolando Park Community Council, I think we'll all agree that that roundabout that you're talking about is not safe. And I've seen the videos and the photos, and I certainly wouldn't want to have my house on a roundabout like that. So, if there's something specific when it's
Right.
us.
What I would like, that would be a start. Again, to have your support in writing. The Eastern area is also going to write a letter, and I want them to be aware of it. If we can get that letter to go to the District 9 council person's office so that they are aware of it, as well as District 4, Monica Montgomery Steps office, that let them know that there is solidarity, that everybody is on the same page. And again, like I said, to work out a low-cost fix, we've given them ideas, but I don't know where it is. I keep hearing, oh well, but no. It's election time. It's no time for buts. It's time to, get going and be smart about what we're doing in every aspect of it, because we can fix this. And if we do it in a harmonious way, just think how peaceful it will be to do other things and get them done. I don't meet on the meeting to see what we're meeting about. I don't believe in excuses. I want action. I told them to come to me with a can-do attitude, because I clearly see what you can't do. And that's
So, excuse me a second, April. So you're asking for both Redwood Village and Rolando Park community councils to write letters of support to
Please.
District 9 and District 4? That's specifically what you need right now?
That's what I need right now. And and then in support, and then to see if, I don't know how we're going to frame this. I have to really kind of think that through, as to also encourage them to incorporate some sort of design element as a deterrent temporarily. It's not going to cost $100,000, really. $25,000, that's chump change. They can do that and make a deterrent and then work from there. We can always go back and add that, but add some rocks, add some trees. What was it, Jennifer? It's the climate action plan. Jennifer,
Yep.
climate action plan.
Action plan. That's our ace in the hole.
Okay.
Need to plant trees. So why not do it here?
Exactly. And that was what we were promised in the original plan. That's why I said you cannot allow these things to be implemented in our community and they don't follow through with what they say they're going to do. There's nothing beautiful. There's weeds. My husband goes out there and cuts the weeds. It's been there for 2.5 years. That was a part of the original design. That's what was a part of the original plan to make Streamview beautiful. You've made it worse than what it was.
Right.
Do we need a motion?
No, I mean, we have no problem.
No, we have no problem.
With writing a letter.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There's also a public petition that's going out. Don't worry about how many people have committed to sign the petition. Look at the visibility. That's what we want. We want people to be aware of what is going on, and so that they can make informed decisions moving forward. So I'm going to put that down in the chat. And also in that is also the video. If any of you have not seen the video, we got coverage. ABC, NBC, the Reader did a complete spread on it. Very high profile. So people are aware of this, and that's what we have to do. We just have to keep it in the forefront of our elected officials and the media. And I think that we'll get something done. And thank you so much for allowing me to be passionate about this and share this with you. I really, really appreciate you. And if there's anything I can do for you, I'm in District 4, but I'm a community organizer. I am an activist. I'm a world-renowned podcaster. So I'm here for you as well.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you, April.
Thank you.
Very
Well,
intrigued. So
April,
I heard a little bit about this before. Yeah, I didn't know it was like that. So
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing it to our attention.
Yeah,
April, I just added in the notes that you don't even have to go to Coronado or North Park, on Landis Street, which is still in City Heights, which is a mile, depending how the crow flies, to what you're talking about. On Little Landis Street, they did the same thing. They put in, I think it was like 3 roundabouts, but they're designed better than what they did on Streamview. So
And you know what? And I say this too, is that when you look at it, clearly people look at Streamview as the ghetto. I just keep it 100. So now it is inequity. This is the most multicultural street that I've seen. Every house is somebody different. And we all get along, and it's love here. And so you give us sloppy seconds, but you take $3.5 million. That's something to look at. Down on Michael, just as ugly. And all the parking, that's so confusing. Folks got to back in. Who does that?
I know, it's crazy. And no, I agree. I'm just saying, have people just drive down Landis Street. They'll see, they'll see, because it's more, the contrast and comparison is more at the same geographical area.
Mhm.
And you can see the difference just in that.
And
I
if
mean,
if we all send an email to Mr. Griffith, because he's on the mayor's staff and he's responsible for inequity or equity in communities. That's his platform. The mayor's sexy street, that's his platform. Okay. So I just want to see, I just want to see it come to fruition. Because it's not nothing sexy and it's not equitable.
Right. All right, any other questions or comments? Well, thank you again, April.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. All right, so we'll, that will be kind of the end of our main presentation. And so we want to do some updates on our 2022 community priorities.
Yeah, unfortunately, can everyone hear me? Kara was supposed to be here tonight and she had to back out at the last minute. Something came up. She was going to talk about the tree priority in the community. We'll talk about that next month. I will just say that I've been talking with the Rolando representative of the Eastern Area Community Planning Group, and we have a subcommittee now to look at getting more trees on University. And we're actually going to be meeting next week with someone from the District 9 office to see, and Jennifer, I'll get you in the loop on that, because it would include Redwood Village all the way from 54th to Aragon. And we're hoping we can get it done through the Climate Action Plan. So we'll talk about that next month. So the only real update that I have then is, well, we have our own mini version of traffic calming coming to Rolando Park. And it's going to look like this. Whee! We have 6 radar VCOM signs going in. Where did that come from? And as many of you know, this has been a priority here since 2017. We started back then, we had our major north-south streets, all studies done on every street. So we turns out that 40 is the 85th percentile on Rolando, sections of Vista Grande and Aragon. And so it has taken this long to get funding for that. And Jennifer, I don't want to discourage Redwood Village, but because I know you have a street there that qualifies as well, but typically it's going to take 5 or 6 years to get funding for simple traffic calming like this. This funding was secured last summer, and I want to thank Monica Montgomery's office because the money came from the state. Dr. Akila Weber got funding for this for us. Otherwise, we would still be waiting. That's how long it takes. So I talked to the traffic engineer this past week. They have been out. They have met with all the property owners whose property is going to be affected by having a post with a flashing sign in front of it. And they've all signed off on it. They've done all the work orders, and those have gone to the streets division last month. So now how soon they're going to be installed here is really dependent on the backlog in the streets division. But sometime she thought in the next 2 to 3 months. So hopefully by the end of the year, we're going to see these. And so these are going to be going in the first 2, Vista Grande, southbound and northbound. That's just on each side of Marlowe. And that's to slow the traffic down in front of the school. I know if you go to the park or to the school in the mornings, there's a lot of stop sign running and there's a lot of speeding on Vista Grande. So that's a big impact there. Rolando Boulevard, I think those are about mid-block there. And then the 2 on Aragon, these are going to be north of Celia Vista, between Celia Vista and University. So again, there's 1 northbound, 1 southbound, and they're placed at points where they are supposed to have the most impact. So that's, we should see these sometime in the next couple of months. Again, we're just waiting for the streets division. The other update, I know someone in the 3800 block of Loma Alta had a traffic study done over the summer. Unfortunately, the 85th percentile wasn't high enough to warrant traffic calming. I know it's hard to believe. I find that very hard to believe myself.
You know, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
They're gonna always tell you these studies, they're gonna take.
They're
blow
going,
out.
yeah, right.
Yeah,
And that's the worst. I mean, I
I
have,
know.
Right.
and 1 year, like for accidents, like from midnight to 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. Cars, they're speeding and during the day.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's, yeah, it just doesn't show up, you know, when they do a study. We also did a study on the 4,000 block over the summer of Vista Grande. Because it's one of those streets where it's 40 miles an hour going down and maybe about 32 coming up. So it ends up being a wash because you really have to have an average of 35 both directions in order to warrant traffic calming. So
What time did they go and do the test?
they do it for 24 hours.
24
It's a 24 hours. It's usually Tuesday through Thursday. They pick one of those days. You just don't know.
During the week, right?
Yeah,
Or
I'm gonna say
Saturday.
probably we should not do any more traffic studies in the summer months, because I do think school being out and San Diego State not being in session have an impact. They do probably lessen the volume of traffic that we would see during this
time right now.
Yes.
Would be the perfect time.
Right.
There's a lot of traffic going well for them.
Exactly. So that is all the updates we have. Again, we'll talk about trees. I have letters out to people. We're still trying to get information about the doing a mural on the underpass. I reached out to Dr. Akila Weber's office because Chevelle does know someone at Caltrans who might be able to help us. I've reached out, Matt Griffith from the mayor's office did get a contact name for me for the pocket park. Someone we can talk to about getting the pocket park cleaned up before we install a monument sign. So we'll look at that, and we're looking at trees next month. Okay.
And for those who don't know, we're looking at putting the mural under the 94
Yes, on College.
on College.
Yeah.
For those who don't know.
Yep.
Can I ask a question about the trees on University?
Yes.
Yes.
Is that in conjunction with the bikeway project that's gonna happen either late next year or the year after that, or is it separate? Because they're gonna pull out vegetation they have on there when they do that.
It's actually separate because we met, Kara and I met with someone from Rolando and the University Bikeway people in the spring. Right after they did a presentation for us on the bikeway. And the first thing he said, well, I wish I had trees for you. But I think we all know things come up and the budget runs out when they get to the eastern part of San Diego, and they did not budget landscaping on University at all. So then we started talking to the D9 office, possibly about looking at getting trees through the climate action plan. But now we're talking to them again about that because the bikeway project's been postponed because guess what? They ran out of money. So we think maybe this is an interim since that project is postponed for a little while to get the city to go back and look at trees down University Avenue. Okay.
Any other questions? Right. Okay, well, I think that's it we have for this evening. What's our next month?
TBD.
To be determined.
TBD.
Okay, so tune in.
Tune in. It's gonna be
For next
exciting.
month's-
It's gonna be exciting.
So I thank all of you for joining in person and on Zoom. And I hope we see you next month. Let everybody know about the opportunity to be on the community council. Anybody you think would be interested, share that information. Other than that, everyone have a good evening.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Good night.
Good
Thank
night.
you.
Okay.